Rush crew describes on-set gun safety issues and misfires days before fatal shooting. Hours before actor Alec Baldwin fatally shot cinematographer on the New Mexico set of Rush with a prop gun, a half a dozen camera crew workers walked off the set protesting working conditions. The camera operators and their assistants were frustrated by the conditions surrounding the low-budget film, including complaints about long hours, long commutes, and waiting for their paychecks, according to 3 people familiar with the matter who are not authorized to comment. Safety protocols standard in the industry, including gun inspections, were not strictly followed on the Rush set near Santa Fe, the sources said. They said at least one of the camera operators complained last weekend to a production manager about gun safety on the set. The 3 crew members who were present at the Bonanza Creek Ranch said on Saturday they were particularly concerned about 2 accidental prop gun discharges. There were 2. Baldwin's stunt double accidentally fired 2 rounds Saturday after being told that the gun was cold, lingo for a weapon that doesn't have any ammunition, including blanks. 2 crew members who witnessed the episode told the Los Angeles Times. There should have been an investigation into what happened, a crew member said. There were no safety meetings. There were no assurance that it wouldn't happen again. All they wanted to do was rush. A colleague was also alarmed by the prop gun misfires. He sent a text message to the unit production manager. We've now had 3 accidental discharges. This is super unsafe, according to a copy of the message viewed by the Times. The safety of our cast and crew is the top priority of Rush Productions and everyone associated with the company. Rush Movie Productions said in a statement, though we were not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapon or prop safety on set, we will be conducting an interview review of our procedures while production is shut down. We will continue to cooperate with the Santa Fe authorities in their investigation and offer mental health services to the cast and crew during this tragic time. The tragedy occurred Thursday afternoon during filming of a gunfight that began in a church that is part of the old western town at the ranch. Baldwin's character was supposed to back out of the church, according to the production notes obtained by the Times. It was the 12th day of a 21-day shoot. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was huddled around a monitor lining up her camera shot when she was accidentally killed by the prop gun fired by Baldwin. The actor was preparing to film a scene in which he pulls out a gun out of a holster, according to a source close to the production. Cast members had already shouted "cold gun" on a set. The filmmaking team was lining up its camera angles and had yet to retreat to the video village on an on-set area where crew gathers to watch filming from a distance via monitor. Instead, the B camera operator was on a dolly with a monitor checking out the potential shots. Hutchins was also looking at the monitor from over the operator's shoulder, as was the movie's director, Joel Souza, who was crouching just behind her. Baldwin removed the gun from its holster once without incident, but the second time he did so, ammunition flew toward the trio and the monitor. The projectile whizzed by the camera operator but penetrated Hutchins' near shoulder, then it continued through to Souza. Hutchins immediately fell to the ground. Crew members applied pressure to the wound in an attempt to stop the bleeding. The thing is, Baldwin is also the producer of this movie, so he was supposed to make sure everything was, everything was right and ready to go. So he may be facing some serious prison time. Late Friday, the Associated Press reported that Baldwin was handed a loaded gun by an assistant director who indicated it was safe to use in moments before the actor fired it. According to the court records, the assistant director did not know the prop gun was loaded with live rounds. According to a search warrant filed in a Santa Fe County court, the person in charge of overseeing the gun props, known as the Armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, could not be reached for comment. The 24-year-old is the daughter of veteran armorer Theo Reed, and had recently completed her first film as the head of armor of the movie The Old Way, with Clint Howard and Nicolas Cage. Earlier in the day, the camera crew arrived as expected at 6:30 a.m. and began gathering their gear, personal belongings to leave. One knowledgeable crew member told the Times, labor trouble had been brewing for days on the dusty set at the Bonanza Creek Ranch near Santa Fe. Shooting began October 6th, and members of the low-budget film said they had been promised the production would pay for their hotel rooms in Santa Fe. But after filming began, the crews were told instead would be required to make a 50-mile drive from Albuquerque each day rather than stay overnight in nearby Santa Fe. That rankled crew members who worried that they might have an accident after spending 12 to 13 hours on set. Okay, so you got, why have a film if you're too cheap to pay for the expenses of the crew? That's another thing too. See, this is, oh man, this is going all types of wrong right now. Hutchins had been advocating for safer conditions for her team and was tearful when the camera crew left, said one crew member who was on the set. She said, I feel like I'm losing my best friends, recalled one of the workers. As the camera crew, members of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees spent about an hour assembling their gear at the Bonanza Creek Ranch, several non-union crew members showed up to replace them, two of them knowledgeable people. Okay. One of the producers ordered the union members to leave the set and threatened to call security to remove them if they didn't leave voluntarily. People want to cut corners. People want to hire non-union members. Okay. All I see is says people want to cut corners. They just want to cut corners. And this is why this stuff happened. Why have a movie if you can't pay for the full amount of it? If you can't pay for the full amount of it, back out the movie and wait, gather up more money so you can pay for the whole thing and do it right. Now people heads are going to have to roll for this. Corners were being cut, and they brought it in a non-union people so they could continue shooting, the knowledgeable person said. The shooting occurred about 6 hours after the union camera crew left. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office said deputies were dispatched to the Bonanza Creek Ranch movie set after calls to 911 at 1:50 p.m. Thursday. Baldwin was starring in the movie and was serving as one of the producers. Yep, no charges have been filed, but the Sheriff's Office said that witnesses continue to be interviewed by detectives. Baldwin said Friday that he was fully cooperative with the police investigation into the incident. There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Helena Hitchens, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours, Baldwin wrote Friday in a series of tweets. Production had been halted on the movie. In an email to its members, Local 44 of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, a union that represents prop masters, said the shot that killed Hutchins and injured Souza on Thursday was a live single round. As many of us have already heard, there was an accidental weapons discharge on the production of the title, Rust, being filmed in New Mexico, said the North Hollywood-based Local. A live single round was accidentally fired on by the principal actor, hitting both the director of photography, Local 600 member Helena Hutchins, and director Joel Souza. Both were rushed to the hospital, the email said. The New Mexico-based crew was represented by a different locale. A source close to the union said Local 44 does not know what projectile was in the gun and clarified that live is an industry term that refers to a gun loaded with some material such as a blank ready for filming. Bonanza Creek Ranch has been a popular filming location for more than 60 years. The first movie to film was The Man from Laramie, starring Jimmy Stewart. It also was the set of The Ballad of Buster Scruggs and the TV popular show Longmire. One of the financiers of the Rust is Santa Monica-based lender Bond It Capital, founded in 2013 by Matthew Helderman and Luke Taylor. According to its website, Bonded finances movies through instruments including gap loans, bridge loans, and tax credit financing. The company has primarily financed low-budget movies, including the Bruce Willis action flick Hard Kill, the Charlotte Kirk horror flick The Reckoning, and the upcoming Robert De Niro film Wash Me in the River, directed by Randall Emmett. Bonded was particularly active during the COVID-19 pandemic, stepping in to fill the financing gaps as independent producers struggled to find backing for films during the public health crisis. All I see is lawsuits for this. Lawsuits. You have to come up with the money to produce these and do these films right, especially doing a film with firearms in it. There's no way around it. That's it. There is no way around it. And he's just going to have to bite the bullet. He may be one of the heads that's on the chopping block, Alec Baldwin. Tell me what you think about this. Do you happen to work in the movie industry? Let me know some stories. Have this happened on your set? Has anybody accidentally died due to a prop gun accident? Let me know. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.